Welcome back to Jinka Jabo. I wanted to start doing the daily broadcast, so I'm just going to read some news articles, and I'll give you the headline and links below, and we're done here. So if you want to follow along with me, you can. Otherwise, I'm just going to read some news. Fun news. I don't know. I'm not going to talk about Steve Bannon today, or anything like that. Actually, there's more pressing concerns. New Zealand, there are avocado thieves, and they're selling their wares on Facebook. This is according to TheGuardian.com, so we know that it's reputable. Let's have a look here, and let's read. New Zealand's avocado thieves have been forced to get creative this season by selling their stolen wares on Facebook as police intensify efforts to catch them. With local and global demand for avocado showing no sign of abating, there have been dozens of nighttime raids on orchards by thieves across the North Island since July. The Upper North Island. I'm not that familiar with New Zealand. Or with avocados, to be honest. I personally don't like them. Sorry. I really love stuff that has avocado in it, which is the strangest thing, like sushi and guacamole, of course. I've heard has avocado in it, and I like that stuff. But by itself, If I got it illegally, though, I might want to try it. That might make it better. I don't have too much more to say about that. The Guardian. An eclipse story. This is from NewJersey.com, NJ.com. Over the moon, New Jersey firefighter pops question during solar eclipse 2017. And there's a cute photo of him proposing to his fiance now, I guess, which was something memorable to do for the eclipse. And I think that's a very sweet thing. And it's good to have news stories like this. On a day already filled with excitement, a couple from New Jersey now have another memory that might overshadow the total solar eclipse that was viewable throughout the United States on Monday. Far away, out in New Orleans. I'm just going to say it, the whole thing just made me really homesick. It's not homesick. It's a different kind of feeling that you get when you've been overseas for a long time. Homesick isn't quite the right word. It's more of just a wistful, ennui sort of thing, is how I would describe it. Over the moon. A nice proposal story. I've actually, I've never seen one. I've never witnessed a proposal at all, and I've never proposed to anyone. So it's kind of strange. It seems like with just probability, I'd have seen it by now. I've seen weddings. The only weddings I've been to, it was just accidental outdoor stuff. But I've never seen that before. What are your stories, viewers? Red-pilled audience, what do you think? Have you seen a sweet proposal somewhere? What was it? Please describe in the comments below. And okay, let's find something. This is out of Shanghai. Now, I lived in China for 1 year, but I've never been to Shanghai. I'll just have to make it back when I visit again. I was in northern China, closer to Beijing. And I was there for 1 year, and I really enjoyed it and made a lot of great friends there. But one thing that I do remember is the amount of pollution, which is, I guess it's a rude thing to say about a country or a culture. But I've heard this similar thing about India, where there's just a lot of just smut everywhere. And like there's the old story of watching parents change the baby's diaper on the conveyor belts in the grocery stores in China, and you see stuff like that, or holding their children to go number two over a public garbage bin. You see stuff like that. But anyway, this latest out of Shanghai is I have the wrong one. Wrong. This latest out of Shanghai is that a rat fell from a ceiling of a hot pot place and squirmed around for a few minutes and then died. Oh Lord. And just the diners were just terrified. And I'm sure it was kind of humorous too, in a way, in a way that weird things like that in China, you sort of laugh it off. And I could imagine there were some people in the crowd who were laughing at that event. But that's not something you would see in the United States. You would never see a rat fall from a ceiling, squirm around on a table, and die in a busy restaurant. Maybe he was just trying to escape. He didn't want to be on the menu today. That's cruel. But I have heard, and I imagine, I hate to admit it, but I've probably eaten rat before. You know how it is late at night, you've had a bit too much to drink with your friends, maybe, and you smell the shaku, you smell the meat on a stick, and you just want to eat it, and who knows what it is. Could be rat, could be cat. You put enough garlic on anything, it all tastes the same. I don't know. I've got a lot of ideas about meat, and we'll be talking about that later. Personally, I still eat meat, but I'm quite conflicted about it. I do not eat rats, however. Poor guy, just trying to escape. Hilarious story. I often tell people, you go to different countries, and sometimes it just feels like being anywhere. It's like being in a different state back home. It's like to an extent, like Korea and China and Vietnam. It's just like New York, Toronto, Miami or something. It's not that different place to place. People still have the same general folklore and beliefs and identity, and it still pervades. China, on the other hand, it really feels like being on a separate planet. Maybe like you go to the Middle East and it feels like, oh, maybe you step back in time, but at the same time there's still a lot of technology and innovation everywhere. But in China, it's really just like being on the moon. And even for someone like me who's traveled quite a bit, like China is far and away the strangest country I've been to. And ultimately, that's why I didn't stay. China, or Vietnam, has its quirks. Things are strange here. But generally, you would never see a rat fall from the ceiling of a restaurant here and scurry around for a bit and then die. Oh dear. Quickly, just one more story. This is out of New York. This is the New York Post. A Bronx widow leaves $300,000 fortune to her cats. And on a sad note here. That's a lot of meow mix, no kidding. A Bronx widow left $300,000 to her 2 cats in her will, along with instructions that the funds be used to make sure the felines, Troy and Tiger, would never be caged and always be lovingly cared for. 2 cats? $300,000 for 2 cats. Meanwhile, the birth rate is plummeting. We're all getting older. Turning into a society of cat ladies. These spoiled little cats, they won't appreciate any of it. I guess I'm not a cat. I mean, I've had cats and I've spoiled them, but they don't care. They don't care. It makes no difference to them. Just think, if she had humans she cared about, that $300,000 would make a lot of difference. Sad. Sad! Fake news. Thank you for watching, Jinka Jabo.